What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Dead State. I had to break my own rule. I was going to take the weekend off, but then I did a little head count of Dead State, and I was like, ooh, I'm not going to have enough to make it through the week. And I was like, all right, I wasn't even sad about it. I would gladly give up my day off to play Dead State. I've told you all multiple times that Dead State Day is my favorite day. It's like pizza day at school. You know pizza day at school. Pizza day was legit. At my school, sometimes they'd have donuts and stuff too, every now and again. But there was this big bum rush of everybody trying to get themselves a donut. It turned into kind of one of these massive, I don't know, it was like a herd rush for the donuts if they were there at our third period lunch or whatever. You would find out right before you would go that there were donuts at the gym for the third period passing period, which was 10 minutes longer. And you'd be like, oh, and there was just this rush. A rush of people with nickels and dimes, people begging on street corners, being like, "Can I get a nickel for a donut?" Have you ever seen a man beg for a nickel so he can buy a donut? It's a sad state of affairs. Did we already come in this room? We did. This room has already been thoroughly penetrated, and so I feel like we should probably go somewhere. I remember bad things happening in this room, but to be really, really honest with you right now, before I Porky Pig out here, I don't really remember what transpired in here. I vaguely remember debating whether or not I wanted to show this on camera, because this place actually seems like it's going to be kind of like a hullabaloo. It seems like there may be some ballyhoo surrounding its clearance, and so I guess we're leaving. Are we leaving locked doors? God, I really should be more careful about this. I have no idea what I have or have not looted. Either way, this guy's got porno and antibiotics. I don't know if I trust that at all. He's like, it's just an itchy spot. Calm down. It's nothing serious. I'm like, whatever. You're taking antibiotics, and you've got nudie mags, and frankly, I don't know what's wrong with you, but I don't want to find out. Nope. Can you pass me my deoxycycline? No, I would not. Is that what it's called? It's syphilis medication. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Deoxycycline. I only know that because I made a joke about it a while back. Let's see here. I know somebody can carry this stuff out of here. Maybe I was going to try and loot the... Maybe I wasn't going to actually I don't remember right now. It's kind of like I'm such a random human being that trying to guess what I was up to 5 days ago when I recorded the last episode, it's actually kind of like a journey into my own psyche. It's got kind of oh, shit. I healed people in between episodes, and so... He might get bit by a zombie in the face. It could potentially happen. Yep, there it is. One zombie, and somehow... He didn't even take any damage, but he fell down pretty hard. I don't know. Let's skip some turns and see if maybe we can save this poor bastard. Tweedletime, you're my hero! Let me save you with this baseball bat. This would be a great time. By the way, if he had wronged you recently, you could actually just get him once or twice in the side of the head while the zombie's on him and just be like, sorry, man, I didn't mean to. It was a struggle and I was trying to save you. But deep down, you'd be like, and you could have your revengeance. Revengeance is so much better than just revenge. I think the other problem is that it rotated my camera. I think that's the other problem, is that maybe I'm not recognizing the floor layout because the camera was moved around slightly. I think that we were going this way or something. And I vaguely remember, yeah, this looks a little bit better and it makes me happier for some reason. I feel happier about it. I'm going to hit this zombie right... Oh, nope. See, I was clicking on the zombie, but they got to start combat for some reason. Ah, good. He's going to get bit through a helmet somehow. That's an impressive bite for a zombie. He can bite you through a helmet. Not bad. Not bad at all. And in fact, that's incredible. Bit twice through the helmet? That's amazing. That's actually fairly... This guy is like a prodigy among zombies. I mean, this one right here, this lady especially, is way better at zombie-related activities than this guy. I'm going to move him over there because our party got caught all... I don't know why when they designed the game they didn't just make people stay within one square of each other and just stay where they're supposed to in your party. Because anytime the AI gets to declare a battle on you, even though you're clicking first, for some reason your guys are spread out all over the place because they travel so far behind the initial party leader. I don't know what determines that. We're apparently making a lot of noise right now because they're coming to investigate. Oh, good. He's going to engage in the normal zombie ritual of zombie song. Just, that was a very popular hit. Never forget. I think it was on Now That's What I Call Zombie 47, but it was really, really popular for a while. It was on the radio constantly. Seriously, you couldn't go 10 minutes without it being on the radio. It was fairly popular. Couple swings in here right here. Of course, we're going to go out of our way not to connect. It looks like he hit her in the boob with the bat. I don't even know where he connected with that, but whatever. Not my problem. Definitely not my problem. Here, stab that zombie real fast. Because stabature is what we strive for here at the Nerd Castle. Yeah, and also katana destruction. Not the destruction of katanas, but destruction which follows in the wake of katana usage. So there you go. Also, we're not a Mortal Kombat channel, so I'm not even going to make that joke right now. I'm just going to make like a vague reference towards it, and then we're going to move forward. Frankly, I play Ermac, so katana doesn't mean anything to me. Alright, and so now that we've arranged our foes into some kind of weird zombie sex pile... No, actually, well, the groin areas are lined up kind of okay. God, my parents must be so proud of me right now. Hanging out on the internet, talking about zombie genital configurations and whether or not they actually are conducive to jokes about zombie sexuality. Yes, this is what my college education and my lifetime of schooling have all led into. Welcome. Welcome. Bask in the radiance. Don't resist. Don't resist. Just let it happen. I feel like I'm funnier at night. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm hyped up after a good day. Like, I took the entire day off today, and then upon finding that I had no Dead State episodes, I got really, really excited, and I was like, oh my god, let's go record some Dead State real fast so that I don't run out, because obviously that's the last thing I want to happen. Yeah, that's what I figured. A couple of 38s right there. Oh no, that's a 9mm. Never mind, I got the boxes wrong. I like how they're color-coded. Do you figure the gun store does that if they come from the manufacturer like that? Do gun boxes have their own branding? Like gun ammo boxes? I've never bought ammo in my entire life, so I have no idea. Like, does Winchester make ammo first and foremost? And does, like, Winchester ammo for, like, 9mm come in a different box than ammo made by, like, Remington? Gun people have to answer that one. I've never bought bullets before. I don't own a firearm. I would like to own a firearm. It's one of those things that I think I would strive for one day. You live for this shit? Oh, okay, so I think he's actually bugged out or something. I don't know, it's weird. Alright. Things you don't want to hear when you walk into a public bathroom. I live for this shit. Yep, there it is. I had something. That's the weirdest motorcycle armor I've ever seen. It has, like, pauldrons on it. I mean, I'm not complaining. I would prefer, if I was a motorcyclist, that my motorcycle-related armor have pauldrons on it. That sounds badass as hell. I'd be totally down for that transaction, but... it's just odd. Like, I don't know. You remember, like, when wearing, like, Fox racing gear was, like, a fad? Like, that was a thing that you did? When I was in high school, that was, like, the cool thing to do. Like, Fox racing gear. That's how you knew who the kids were that lived, like, I don't know, over in the little suburb area, because they all had dirt bikes and stuff, and there was, like, a dirt bike hill right over there next to all their houses. And so they'd just be like, nying, 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 and they just, like, go over there and, like, do fun dirt bike stuff, like, I don't know, go off jumps or something. I don't know. That's what I do. I jumped an ATV one time. My dad had an ATV when we were a kid, when we were kids. My dad and I were kids simultaneously. No. Anyways, let's get back to it here. My dad got an ATV from, like, a friend of his in return for some work he did when I was a kid. My dad did this every now and again where he would trade, like, roofing work for, like, an awesome toy. And so essentially the guy gave him an ATV for fixing something and, like, doing something else. I don't know. That's not the point of this story. Anyways, there used to be this big dirt hill where we lived where everybody would just dirt bike and, like, ride ATVs, and it was owned by some guy who was from Japan or something. So you knew you weren't going to get, like, sued. Like, technically, it was odd. Like, it was, like, one of those things where it was a guy from, like, Japan or something owned the land, like, some land developer, and then for somehow, I don't know if this was actually how it worked, but people just assumed you had, like, legal indemnity for, like, anything that happened there. I'm pretty sure that the law doesn't work like that, but for the time being, let's just assume for the sake of this story that that's how it worked. Like, basically, people just assumed that, like, you couldn't sue the guy because he lived in a different country or something. I don't know. In either case, though, I'm still not sure about these assumptions, but everybody used to motorcycle and, like, ATV on those hills, and that's just, like, a thing that we did. And so I used to jump my ATV all the time. It was pretty awesome. It wasn't my ATV, it was my dad's ATV, but still. It was kind of big for a little kid, though, now that I'm thinking about it. It was like a 250cc or something like that. It was a big, like, ATV. Like, it was a hog. It made noise, and, like, when you put the throttle down, it went. Like, it would go without you, too. That's what I learned as a little kid, is that, like, if you're small and you don't weigh much, that thing will leave without you. It'll be like, the party's starting. I don't need you on my back, little child. And that will be that. I'm gonna break this door down. Who's the best at meleeing? I think it's gotta be me with the katana, right? Did I say me? I meant Tweedletime. I'm identifying through my character at this point. Katana! We will sing the song of katanas! There's not a whole lot of words that rhyme with katana. I would assume that Nirvana kind of rhymes with katana, but only on the back end of the word. All right, let's keep running. It's late. My voice is burned out. I sing like... Where the hell did that zombie come from? What? We already cleared like this entire area. Where did that zombie come from? Maybe she was in this hallway right here and I just never like realized it. Either way, we only made 24 decibels of noise, which isn't actually that much. Oh, good. Under all circumstances, you should make sure that you miss with your first swing. Alright, let's just wait for this to be over with. I've got this one. Yeah, that's because we're all abandoning you and looting the pharmacy right now for various, like, sundries that we can take back home. Only real friends will leave other friends behind to fend off a zombie while they loot a pharmacy. You've got to be real friends to abandon somebody like that. That's the only way that you get forgiveness. I finished watching Psych this week, which was incredibly do we have any other, like, Psych fans right now in the audience? Like, of my viewers, are you guys Psych fans? I hope you're Psych fans, because Psych is an amazing show. If you ignore the first season, it takes a while. I say that about every show, though. Like, honestly, most shows, the first season is terrible. I've actually, such to the point that I've started watching things from the second season on Netflix from now on. Like, I just don't even watch the first season anymore. Sure, you miss out with certain series. I would say Breaking Bad would be, like, the exception to that one, I guess. But much beyond that, I don't know. Let's see here. What else have I not looted? This is like the most enormous floor plan that we've ever seen in the game. And so I'm trying to make sure that I get as much of it as possible. I also don't know how far away we are from home. But I could assume... You would figure they could have made this more efficient by putting the sinks on this wall and then putting doors in right here. So that these people could access the bathroom from both sides. And then you would have the sinks on the side over here. I don't know. That's how I would have designed it. I mean, you can't really do much with the men's room because urinals. By the way... Always, if you're building like a urinal place, put that little divider in right there, man. There's nothing worse than when you're like side by side tandem peeing and dude just like looks over at you and like up downs. You can be like, I'm pretty sure by the laws of nature we have to fight now. I don't know. I'm not sure, but you just up downed me while we are both holding on to our most precious possession, our special purpose, if you will. And as of right now, I'm feeling like we should probably be fighting or something. Should we fight? I don't know if this is okay or not. Do we have to fight, or is that the wrong response here? I'm not sure I can trust your answer either way, because you just up-downed me while we were both peeing. I'm pretty sure we have to fight now. I wouldn't sign off on it, like, legally, but I'm pretty sure we do. I don't know. Like, I guess we could half-assedly fight so that we both maintain face. We could have, like, one of those, I don't know, wasn't it Andrew Jackson? Was it Andrew Jackson? I know Andrew Jackson was a duelist, right? Aside from his career spent murdering Native Americans. Aside from that, Andrew Jackson... as I recall, was quite the duelist. Didn't he go to a duel, though, with somebody he respected, and they both didn't want to kill each other? And so they both, like, went and, like, fired their pistols straight into the ground or something like that, and then walked away and just, like, told everybody else that they had had a duel, but they had both missed? I'm pretty sure that happened. I don't know. I think I remember reading... I don't know if it was Andrew Jackson, though. I don't know. There's a lot of, like, Hamiltons and Jacksons and, like, Adamses and all kinds of people from back then. And frankly, I mix them all up at this point because it's been, like, 500 years since I was in high school. That's right. I went to high school in the 1500s. 1500s high school was actually a lot worse. I mean, the nurse's office was a terrifying place. You didn't want to go there. 1500s nurse's office was the worst place ever. My recommendation would be just don't get sick at school. Like, go home. And don't tell anybody about it either. That's the other half. Because if everybody else finds out, they're going to, like, bleed you and, like, put leeches on your face and just do all kinds of crazy stuff. And, while I respect Steve-O for putting a leech on his eye, I'm not sure that I want to go in with that. That was the worst thing ever. Did you guys see that in Jackass? Where Steve-O put a leech on his eye? I love that show. That was one of those shows that, like, once it was gone, I wasn't sure how to, like, continue with my life. I was one of those people that just, like, watched it and belly laughed the whole time. While other people, more sophisticated people, more classy people, eyeballed me from across the room and were just like, I'm pretty sure this isn't real entertainment. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is. This is awesome. This is the best thing ever. You mean that these people get paid to, like, jump off stuff and suffer head injuries? Career opportunities. You take them where you find them, kids. Take them where you find them. If you can get paid, oh my god. If you can get paid. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and... says the guy playing video games on the internet. Oh my god. Alright, so let's go. Oops, I bumped my mic. I'm getting too excited right now. Let's rein this back in. We need to maintain some level of decorum while we hang out here. I heard, I heard Northern Lion use the word decorum, and I was like, that's a word that I never use. I think I'm going to integrate that into my vocabulary for at least the next week or so until I forget about it. It's a good word. That's a good word. Decorum. Indeed. It sounds pretty awesome, to be honest. Decorum. It sounds like an ancient warrior from, like, Greece. And so Decorum left the city, intending to fight. What's else? We gotta have some, like... We have to have some other guy. I don't know. Ottoman of Thrace? I don't know. I was trying to come up with some other hilarious name that was vaguely related to, like, furniture and also decorating. Ottoman of Thrace. Strangely enough, he's not from the Ottoman Empire. Strangely enough, he's from Thrace. Who would have known? Who would have known? Alright, so now that we've unloaded all of our goodies, I think we might be... How long did... Oh, I was too busy... I was too busy making jokeses to pay attention to how long it took me to get back here. What time is it right now? Pray tell, prithee, random clock on wall. I like how it actually has the pictures up here too, like we have on the UI. I never noticed that before. Although I think they must have changed the UI because there's no pictures up here, right? Are there? If I click on somebody? Sort of, but it's not the same pictures. I think they must have changed the UI or something along the way because it doesn't match up. Either way, our mushroom patch is going to take 56 hours to grow. Mushrooms grow really fast. Take it from somebody that lives in, like, the Bay Area where it's foggy, like, all the time and the sun doesn't come out and, like, it's pretty much overcast for, like, 5 months out of the year. Sometimes it's just randomly overcast in the summer and you don't even know why. It'll be like 600 degrees outside and it'll be overcast and humid as shit and you just be like, damn, this is uncomfortable. Anyways, what time is it? Huh? I guess I gotta click this to find out, right? The time, oh, it only took us, I think it was like 10:50 or something when we left the hospital, right? Let's go back for more adventures. I don't know how many episodes I'm gonna record tonight. I ended up all alone and unfortunately, like, I had no way to pass the time. I sat on Reddit for a little while. And Reddit didn't do it for me. I was like, I sat on Reddit for a little while. I read a thread about Mac Dre because I am a Mac Dre enthusiast. I do feel as though, I mean, you have to, we actually give you a test to be, I think I've mentioned this before. When you move to the Bay Area, where you get asked, they send a guy from a government agency out to your house, and he's like, how do you feel about Mac Dre? And if you answer wrong, then he will follow up by being like, well, how do you feel about Keek da Sneak? And then if you're even more confused, we were like, all right, I'm going to throw you a softball here. How do you feel about the phrase thizzin? And then if you finally haven't gotten it by then, they actually put you into classes, and then you have to, like, learn what all these things mean. And so there you go. For example, if somebody walks by and they're like, oh my god, well, they won't be walking if this happens. They will be running. And they're like, oh my god, somebody just sprayed scow down the street. What does that mean? See, like, you've got to learn this stuff just in case. You never know. Like, even if you're like a nice area of the Bay Area, you might as well learn the lingo just in case. Plus, lingo is a fun word to say. I always felt like lingo would be like a way cooler, more sort of like artsy drummer for the Beatles. Like, instead of Ringo Starr, you'd have like Lingo Starr. Kind of like the alter ego cool guy that Ringo always wanted to be, but could never quite make it. He could never quite make it. I love the Beatles as much as anybody else, but to be honest, Ringo, what did he contribute? I'm sure he did something. You know what? Help me redeem Ringo right now. Tell me something he did in the band that, like, I don't know. Tell me some song that he wrote that they were famous for. Because people always rip on Ringo. He had to have done something while he was there, right? Instead of just, like, banging on some drums, right? That reminds me of the old band room joke. I don't know if I should tell this one because all the drummers are going to get mad. So, if you were ever in band, you will know that a large majority of, like, jokes are directed at drummers. Jokes that allude to the fact that they might not be, like, musicians. I don't make these jokes because I love everybody, and frankly, I don't like people being mad at me. So I'd be like, I try to stay away from, like, the mean jokes, unless they're at the expense of things that don't actually exist, like vampires or rainbow clouds. You can rip on rainbow clouds. You can also rip on the Amish all you want. On the plus side, I mean, if you're really looking for a soft target, the Amish, frankly, wide open right there. I think, who was it, John Panette that did a joke about that? He's like, I say horrible shit about the Amish. They never find out about it, though. So, I think somebody's already hit that joke. Pretty sure somebody's already hit that fertile ground. Either way, though, you know the Amish are, like, exempt from the draft and everything else? How does that work? I feel like that's kind of unfair. Like, if I'm going to get drafted and blown up, I like to think that it's, like, a fair game, like, you can get drafted too and blown up. I don't know. It makes me feel better that the guy sitting next to me is equally as likely to get drafted and blown up. I don't know. Is that a weird thought to have sometimes? That's like, I think about that sometimes. Like, after I sign my draft card, because in the United States they still have a draft. I don't know if, like, people from the EU know about this, but in the United States they still have a draft just in case, like, doomsday happens or something. Like, we have a volunteer military, but at the same time, when you turn 18 as a male, you have to sign a draft card. Otherwise, you become exempt from... You can't use government agencies. Like, you can't get food stamps. You can't do, like, a bunch of government agency-related stuff. Like, you can't get Medicaid, and you can't... Basically, you can't draw on any social services unless you submit yourself for the draft, as I recall. Like, in order to sign up for social services, you have to, like, have, like, a positive green check mark next to your name for the draft. I don't know. I signed my draft card. They called me. They were lickety-split, like, the day after I turned 18. They were quick on it. Like, they came up real fast. They were like, so, hey... You signed that draft card yet? I was like, actually, yeah, I signed. What's going on in this room? Oh, this room got confusing real quick. The assets didn't load. Oh, man, that's all bad. The assets didn't load. Alright, so I'm not going to worry about the outside for right now. They were real fast on that. Did anybody else get that? When you turned 18, like, you had, like, 1 million recruiters call you, like, right after you turned 18, be like, so, what you doing right now? I'm like, answering the phone for a recruiter who's being... weirdly, vaguely personal with me and asking me what I'm doing right now. Oh, man. Recruiters. Alright, they used to walk around the college campus, too, a lot. There's a bunch of recruiters out there that are always trying to get people to sign up. I almost did for, like, a brief period, but then, like, I don't know. It just, like, never happened. I'm not really sure. I think by the time I realized that that was, like, an option, I was, like, 26, and then I was like, oh, well, I feel like I kind of missed that boat. I don't know. I'm going to tell you the first person to get left behind. The 26-year-old, when there's a bunch of 18-year-olds there, I'd be like, my knee hurts. My knee hurts from the last 10 years of, like, running every single day. Oh, man, I'm not going to make it. You guys just leave me here. They'd be like, okay, later. He's got a busted knee, Sarge. We couldn't go get him. It's fine. He told us we could leave. We're now exempt, right? That's how it works. He says we can leave him, and then we're like, all right, we go back to Chow. Oh, man. That's like if you want to find, like, truly, like, razor wit, you have to look at jokes written by people in the military. And that's like for real. Some of the funniest people I know did like 6 years in the Army or like 6 years in the Marines. They're hilarious. Hilarious. Absolutely. Well, I know some people that did that long like in the Marines or the Army too, and now they have like absolutely no sense of humor. So I suppose it's like one of those things. Maybe it's how you deal with the environment. It might be. Like some of us deal with stress by becoming funnier. And some of us deal with stress by just like shutting down. I don't know. I do it big time with humor. When I'm stressed, I make jokes that are like, you know the guy in the movie that makes the like poorly timed joke right before the velociraptor steps in? That's me. That's how I diffuse tension. Oh good, we found weed in the hospital. And this weed appears to be, oh never mind, this is an why is there just weed in the exam room? There's just weed in the exam room. I thought about it for a minute. I was like, oh, the weed's it's a personal office. I'm going to make a joke about, you know, the surgeon being high out of his mind before he does surgery. Wait, did I just pick up another abortion kit? Wait, what is this? This bag can... Oh, yeah, this is another abortion kit. Do we need another abortion kit? Was the first one consumable is the question. Was it a consumable or was it reusable? Because in... Oh, no. Oh, man, my brain right now. I am being very, very inappropriate in my headspace. How many abortion kits do they have on this? Oh, that's my inventory. Never mind. I was all prepared for a second abortion kit to drop. Like, I was really and sincerely ready. I was just like, well, there's another one. This must be the Planned Parenthood floor, I guess. Maybe this is where there's a cigar in the bureau. Maybe somebody... This bed doesn't look like any hospital bed I've ever seen before. This bed looks very, very homey. Additionally, why is there a couch right... Let's assume for a moment. Let's assume. So, bear with me here. Let's say that this is... So we found abortion equipment in here. Maybe this is like a room where you give birth, although I don't see the little leg straddly thingy, and I also don't see a bathtub. Speaking of which, freshmen in college, enjoy that class. Oh my god, child development. They do not tell you the things that you're about to witness in that class. They don't even hint at it because they know you won't show up. So, I'm going to tell you a little story right now. We're already over time, but I feel like it's worth it for this story. So, my freshman year in college, when I was going to the JC out in, like, Vallejo, like, I took a child development course because you're supposed to, like, do that your freshman year. It's just, like, on your little checklist thing of, like, stuff. Why is it getting all laggy right now? It's because we're on the second floor. That's the problem. Every time I go to a second floor, this game, like, freaks the hell out. Even if I have it, like... Yeah, my frame rate drops to, like, nothing every time I do multiple floors in this game, and I'm not sure why. Either way, though, I had a child development course. That is the worst class ever to show up late for on the second day. I walked through that door, and what I witnessed, your brain is not mentally prepared to witness. It was just like this lady in the 70s just like blasting out a kid. I call it blasting because that was the verb being used. The physical embodiment of the word that she was using to complete this action was blasting. And I walked through the door, turned to the right, and was like, oh, it's movie day. I'm kind of stoked about this. Movie day is great. And then I was no longer happy about movie day. I was like, well, that process looks harrowing. I have never been more happy to be male. And I'm so stoked that no matter what goes wrong, I will never have to do that. That seems just the worst. That seems quite off. She is not happy. Listen to the sound coming out of her mouth right now. This is not a sound like, yay, babies. No, that is not the sound she is making. This is a horrible sound. I have never heard anybody make one like it. And I have the very, very real instinct that I should just leave the room right now and be as far away from her as possible. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcast for the next episode of Dead State. I will see you all later. I hope you enjoyed your Saturday night with Splat. I don't know what night it is for you right now. It's Saturday night for me. Anyways, bye everybody.